Steam. So yes, it came out yesterday on Steam, a bit late in the day, so I didn't really get a chance to play it much yesterday. Well, I did the tutorial once, but I'm going to redo the tutorial just so you can see. What I am going to do is I'm just going to take the music down just so it doesn't interfere with the microphone too much, hopefully. So, Unmatched Digital Edition, I have got a few of the versions, but I haven't actually played them yet, but I have seen it played. So we're just going to crack straight on with playing the tutorial. This is the Unmatched board game where you take sort of historical figures or fantasy figures and you fight against another one. So in this, Merlin is going to teach us how to play. This is Merlin here. So as you can say, each space can contain one fighter. So he's a fighter, but he's a sidekick. So it's your hero, the one you're protecting. As you said here, heroes and sidekicks. And some sidekicks will see they have a health of their own. And some sidekicks don't have a health thingy here, which means they've only got one health basically. I don't know if it shows it or not. Right. So he's going to bring a foe, and we are fighting against Alice here from Alice in Wonderland. And each turn you could have two actions here, which I think he's going to show us in a second. And he's got this here, which is perform a maneuver action. So you click on it, and you have to draw a card. So you automatically get a card. And then anyone on your side can move, and your move value they obviously show you now here, and it's also shown down in the bottom left hand corner as well. Not sure why the music is still as loud as it is, but there we go. So here it's telling you where you can move to. It gives you a hint on where to go on this version, so you click on the space you want to move to and he moves. And Merlin is going to move. So click on Merlin, click on the space, that's where he's asked to move because he's going to show you something in the game a little bit. So once you've finished your move, you click on the bottom right hand corner, which is what you always do. One thing to remember is when you click on something, and it will show you in a minute, if you look down bottom right hand of the screen where the maneuver action is, there's this exclamation mark. When you do that, it's unreversible. You cannot reverse that action. Obviously down bottom left hand screen, it's showing you that you did the maneuver action first, and then it's going to show you next action. Always have to take two actions. There's 3 different actions, and you can take the same action twice. So as he's saying, one action is maneuver, the other 2 actions are attack and scheme. So we're going to do a maneuver again. He's asking us to do. So we draw a card. So it's saying let's have a look at Excalibur card. Card type, which means it's attack. Card value, that's the stronger attack it does, or defense if it's a defense card. And obviously if it has a name underneath, that's the person who can use it. So I can't use Excalibur if I want to do an action with Merlin. And down at the bottom of the card, it tells you how many of that card is in your deck. So there's only one Excalibur card in your deck. And as they're saying now, this is a boost value, so this is the boost value. So each maneuver action can be boosted once to increase the move value for that action. But as he's saying, really don't want to do that. Obviously this is a defense card, so it's paid in defense. Card value 0. Who's allowed to use it? This one, obviously, because it's got the attack symbol and the defense symbol, it's a versatile card. So we're going to boost. So I think he wants us to play that card to boost the maneuver. So we click OK. Now we've got a movement of 4, so we can move Arthur there. Finish our move action. So Alice has her turn. She's drawn a card and she's going to attack us. We don't get to see what card she's using and we don't get to see what abilities are on it, so we have to decide if we want to defend. You don't have to play a defense card, you can just use the skip button to the right of the screen. So it's asking us to play skirmish card, which is a 4 defense. Anyone can use it, and after combat, if you win the combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 2 spaces. So that's if you win the combat. So she's playing a card with a free attack. However, she's got a during combat, which goes off first, and she discards the top card of their deck and adds its boost value to that card. As he's saying now, we've got the immediate, so if there's something that says immediately, it happens, then it's a during combat, then it's the combat, then it's after combat. So we are ready, and she's got a card there and it had a boost 2 on it. It did come pretty quickly there, but obviously it updates it, and it does say here boosted by Fate +2. So because she did 5 and I've got 4, she did 1 damage to me and she's classed as winning the combat. And our effect doesn't go off because we didn't win the combat. The attacker wins the combat if they deal at least 1 damage. If the defender took no damage, then the defender wins the combat. So yes, we did lose that combat, but we only took 1 damage. And then you close it down. So that's her turn. So now it's our turn. So we're going to play Excalibur, which starts the attack action. We are a melee fighter, as you can see by the sword next to us, so because of that we have to attack into the next space. It's got to have a line there, so we confirm our attack. Now she's going to see if she's playing a defense card. So she's not playing any defense cards, so I deal 6 damage to Alice. And I win the combat, but there's no combat effects for me, so we close. And now he's obviously saying, because he's a ranged fighter, because he's got the range symbol here, he can hit anyone that's in the same zone as him. So he's in pink zone and yellow zone. So he could hit anyone in the pink areas and anyone in the yellow areas. And she's in pink, yellow, and this sort of browny woody effect. So now we can play this Merlin card here, which is an attack of 4, and after combat, if you win combat, draw 2 cards. And she's playing a defense card this turn. So 4 to 3. I do 1 damage to her. She now does her card, so she's recovering 3 health, and she's going to place herself in another space. So she's moved there, and we won the combat, so we do get that ability of drawing 2 cards. And now he's telling us about the special ability, which we could have done earlier in a fight, but Alice had enhanced defense during the last combat because of her special ability. When she is in small state, she adds +1 to her defense cards. So if we click there, Alice, movement of 2, melee attack, and her special ability. And I assume that in a proper game she has a sidekick, but obviously not in this tutorial version. And obviously we look to see what ours is, and ours is when King Arthur attacks, you may boost that attack, play the boost card face down along with the attack card. But if the opponent cancels the effects on your attack card, the boost card is discarded without effect. So we need to end the turn. Alice is drawing 2 cards and changing size. So she's going to big, which means her attack is more. And then she moved. So that was her. I think she drew a card first. So Lady of the Lake. Search your deck and discard pile for the Excalibur card and add it to your hand. The Excalibur card was the powerful card. So we've got Excalibur back. And there's only one of her in the deck, so it's sort of like one retrieval. And he's just telling us, obviously, the issue is if you run out of cards and you do a maneuver, you receive 2 damage. So you want to finish the match before you run out of cards, because otherwise you're going to die pretty quickly, and you can only have 7 cards in your hand. So I did the scheme, and now I have the choice that I could do this one, which is move each fighter up to 3 spaces. Or I could do a maneuver, draw a card, and then move 2, 1, 2, but she's 1, 2, she can still hit me. Or I could attack with Merlin. So we're going to play this one. And I did that last time and I can't. Oh, I see. So now I click on them. So Merlin is going to move over here. Just because we want to keep Merlin alive. You don't have to, but he's asked nicely, hasn't he? So, and we're going to keep that. So we're going to say that's it. So that's the end of our turn. What's Alice going to do? So draw a card and move up to 4 spaces, and she's going to attack. So I thought she did a. I'm confused on what she did on her turn. Oh, maybe it was move 4 spaces and then attack. Would help if her card stayed up on the screen just a little bit longer. So I am defending. So after combat, if you 1, move but I'm going to do a feint because it immediately cancels all effects on the opponent's card. So there you go, it gets rid of that effect there. She has done 4 damage to me. But she doesn't get her after combat.
To battle!
So now it's my turn. So I am going to hit with Excalibur. I could boost. I'm not going to boost. I'm going to keep those cards. So I'm going to do 3 damage to her. She's allowed to move each of their fighters up to 2 spaces and change size. So she's now shrunk down to small, so she gets that extra defense. So I am going to maneuver Merlin. He's going to come here. And I'm going to stay where I am. So that's the end of my turn. Move up to 3 spaces, change size. So she's coming in for another attack. Maneuvered after combat.
To battle!
So she's run away. She's done a big run away. Don't boost. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. We'll maneuver. Maneuver again. And our turn. She's moving in.
To battle!
And then moved out again. I don't know if there's a way of... It'd be interesting to see. Oh, discard pile. I wonder if that's the order. No, top of the discard. After combat. I'm not... Oh, maybe she boosted? Don't know. Weird. So, my turn. So, obviously... Bit of a tricky one, because only one of mine can come in, because I can't... Oh no, 1, 2, yeah. So we are going to maneuver by drawing a card. We're going to risk it, and we're going to bring him in here. And we're going to bring him in here. That's our movement done. And let's have a look. King Arthur. After combat, draw 2 cards. Don't really want to move. So we're going to play Aid of Morgana. We select that. Now we can boost our attack, so it's quite good because it reminds you that you've got this boost attack. You know what, we are going to boost it and see what she does. Right, so after combat you want to choose one of the fighters in combat and move them 2 spaces. I won the combat and did 2 damage. Draw 2 cards. She obviously decided not to move, but that's all I can do this turn. So I'm going to let her have a go. She's obviously playing an attack card, and she is attacking Arthur, because it says here, oh, she can't attack Merlin because there's no link, but Merlin could attack. So we just need to do a nice defense. We're just going to do the feint again. And she's going to get rid of one of my cards. Oh no, I cancel the after combat. So he's going to take 3 damage. But she can't do her ability because I cancelled it.
To battle!
So let's have a look. Discard pile. Maybe she played that to boost her movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I assume that's what she did. She moved to boost. So she's on green. Not sure if I can spin the board. I can't spin the board. I don't think there's a... Oh, there is a link. So choose any space in Merlin's zone till 2 damage. No. Right, so I'm going to have to maneuver. Draw 1 card if you won the combat. No. So he is going to... And we're going to play Swift Strike to boost the movement. Confirm that. So he's coming in there. And he's coming in there. So Merlin is going to skirmish. Choose attack. And we are going to boost that too. So we've got a 6. She's got a 1. We can see which way this is going.
I should be punished for it
She's
now.
defeated. But obviously it's an easy one for the tutorial. So victory. So that was Unmatched Digital. I'm going to play again a little bit later today, so you can have a look and see next one.